All right. We are live. All right, let's share this out real quick. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit. You know, I'm just gonna wait till a few more people. Still got a little bit of time. I'm starting early. If you're watching, check in. I would like to see the chat. Okay. All right, we are live. Live chat. Okay. See my face. One more time. Alright, still early. So let's see what we got here. Rush. Pop. Okay, there we go. We pop. Oh. Alright. So before we start, I guess let me show you guys. Man, I crack. This is Song Tone. This is around the base. Oh, what is that? Oh, construction. All right. All right. So let's get started. While people can jump in and you can watch it later. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Let me share. Share. Oh, I can't. Huh. Okay. So it's going on as Jason, aka Director Nola, and I'm on my lunch break right now doing this live stream with you guys. Now let's go housekeeping out the way. Disclaimer: the DoD they do not, they don't endorse none of my YouTube endeavors and whatnot. This is me doing this on my own accord. In 2019, my plan is to start documenting more of my journey, my life, living overseas. So for those of you who can see what my day job is, I'm in the U.S. military. All right, you see that big old plane behind me that's landing. That plane is landing over on the base that's towards my right side. So let's pause real quick. Oh, that's American Airlines too. Okay, so this live stream is gonna be about why I don't speak Korean in South Korea. This is not gonna be a negative one. This is I get asked a question a lot. They say, "Well, why don't you've been in Korea for so long? Why you don't speak Korean?" And I always say because I don't need to. Now, now I say that because yeah, it's for one, I don't need to learn it. I don't need to know it in order to live here. I live here very comfortably because my job is what provides for me. Um, Main reason being because I don't live off the Korean economy. I'm still being paid by the U.S. My job is a U.S. job. That's where my income comes from. So because of that, I'm at an advantage compared to other foreigners who compared to foreigners and expats who are here. And I don't fall underneath the expat category because military people we get classified differently. But anyways, because foreigners who don't foreigners, not even military, like military or civilians who work and that's associated to the base, they live off the base, which is AK like pretty much America economy essentially for those who are over here from America working for the base. Now, for expats who live here who don't have a base affiliate job, they have to know Korean because they're living off the Korean economy. They money comes from the Korean economy. They get paid in won. They don't get paid in USD like I do. Their bosses are Korean. They fall underneath a lot of the Korean like visa policies and whatnot. They fall underneath a lot of the laws and regulations for typical traditional expats who are here in Korea. So for them, they have to know it, and so they're at a disadvantage. Now, some people probably say, "Well, how's it a disadvantage?" I said, well, me personally, I see it as a disadvantage is because when you're not on your home turf, you're at a disadvantage. Point blank simple. When you go to someone else's country, you're on their turf, and they got home field advantage. So I like to always look at how some immigrants who come to America, they come to America, they don't have home field advantage unless you depends on which type of immigrants and where they go to, because like nowadays there's a lot of communities um, established in the states, so when foreigners come to the states they can sometimes just plug into those communities, and they kind of got like a little bit of advantage on their side. Now for Americans, not so much when we go overseas. Though I mean, the only advantage we probably have is that some countries prefer USD. Some countries they speak mainly English, so that if you go into those countries, then yeah, and a lot of times those tend to be kind of like the developing countries, particular because USD is a stronger currency than their own home currency. But me, so when I first came to Korea in 2013, I actually did take Korean lessons. I learned how to speak Korean. That's something I normally do because like when I went to Japan, I actually spoke more Japanese when I lived in Japan for those 3 years than I do speak Korean. And when I went to Portugal for 15 months, I actually spent more time. I spoke more Portuguese when I was in Portugal 15 months. And when I came to Korea, I did the same thing like I normally do when I go live in a country. So okay, look, let me take the basic lessons to learn and understand the language so I can practice. So that didn't really work out here because in Korea, speaking English is something that's pretty is big business here, right? A lot of kids they go to school, they learn English or memorize English. Then there these after school programs where kids get sent and their parents pay all this money, where they get hagwons where their parents pay all this money so their kids can learn English. So when I try to speak Korean with some of the local Koreans, they didn't want to speak that. They want to speak English. In particular, you got to think about there's Koreans that work on base, and they have to speak English when they work on base for their job. So for a lot of them, they don't want to practice Korean. They rather speak English because it helps them improve their English skill. Because when they have their annual, like depending on what kind of job they have, when they have their annual reports done up on them, like their English, their communication skills is a gradable section on their annual report. So that's kind of part of the reason why it's kind of I haven't really put effort into it. Another reason I haven't is because a lot of people here speaks English or they know just enough. A lot of stuff is easy to figure out. Um, Also, technology has improved since I've been overseas. Like I've been overseas since 2008. When I came overseas, like mobile devices wasn't really the thing. Like talking about flip phones still hot. Like flip phones still the thing. iPhone was getting it, but they wasn't getting it like how iPhone get it now and whatnot. So back then, you definitely need to know. I used to carry a little book with phrases in Japanese. When I went to Portugal, I had a little book of phrases. Now fast forward today, your mobile device can translate for you, pretty easy, pretty simple. So for me, I work full time military, so my main chunk of my day is spoken in English. When I get off work, I live in an area that's pretty much kind of international. There's a lot of English speakers in this area. There's like Filipinos in this area. There's Africans in this area. There's Thai. There's Russian. There's Turkish. There's all kind of like different nationalities in my area, and a lot of people speak English, and then a lot of people also speak Korean and whatnot. So me personally, my environment that I live and work in enables me to not have to allocate my resources to studying Korean at this moment. Now, yes, my wife, she is Korean, but she also speaks English, and we have a daughter who's speaking both Korean and English. But once again, we live in an area that's kind of like Americanized, really. So me, I'm all about my time. I'm all about allocating. Like I said, when I'm not working in this uniform, I'm working on my business, right? And my business is primarily focused outside of Korea. My business isn't Korean focused. So right there, my business is also requires me to just keep speaking English. So all the factors in my situation has made it where I don't need to know Korean to survive. Point blank. For me to learn Korean now is mainly just for a hobby. if I you know, if I really wanted, if I learned it. It wouldn't be for me to be able to feed my family. It wouldn't be for me to run my business. It wouldn't be for me to interact with coworkers or colleagues. It would just be simply just a hobby. And right now, I don't really have time for too many hobbies. A lot of my free time has to be spent on working, trying to build my sock business, trying to make it generate a lot more revenue so I can separate from active duty service in the coming years, so I can drop down to reserve service, and so I can move my family back to New Orleans, so we can like establish like some roots back home. So that's pretty much why I don't speak Korean, and I hope nobody thought, oh, it's gonna be a negative live stream on why I don't speak it. Well, no, I think it was totally positive. Like, my situation garners me not to have to. Hold on. Yeah, that's a big old plane. Well, I can't show you the airfield. That goes against rules. I can't show you that. I apologize. All right, plane is gone. So yeah, so that's why I don't need to, right? And also, honestly, I've been in Korea for so many years, and I interact with some of the expats over here who do live off the Korean economy. And honestly, I do not ever want to be in a position where my livelihood is based on is in the hands of another country's hands. That makes sense. I'm a very self-sufficient. I like to be an independent type of person. If I can do it for myself, I'm gonna do it for myself. I don't want to depend on nobody else to do it for me. So, and then, like, I speak to some of these expats here, and a lot of them, some expats have good experiences, because some of them here, they come here to teach English, right? So they come over to teach English. You got to play by the Korean people rules, which is right. You on their turf. You getting fed by the economy. You getting paid by the economy. You getting paid by their people. So yeah, you got to play they rules, their games. So I remember I used to hear some negative stories about how some of these foreigners that come over here to teach English, they might end up working for like a shady Hagwon, which is like an after school program or school or whatever. They might end up working for a shady company where they will hold their money, they hold back their benefits, they be playing around with their visas and stuff, right? And because pretty much they sponsor you here, you pretty much, they got control over you, right? You're not here on your own visa. You're here because someone else is sponsoring your visa, so they can control your livelihood. They dictate if you're gonna be able to keep your job in this country, right? And me, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? If anyone's gonna have control over my ability to survive, I'd rather be someone from my own home country, because at least we can speak the same language. I can go to the court easily and talk on my own accord. Here, if they do that, you got to find someone else to be your legal counsel sometimes, because you don't speak Korean and you don't know Korean law. So you got to depend on somebody else. And I don't like that. I don't like needing to depend on somebody else to survive. I really don't like that feeling at all. So yeah. So that's it for this little live stream. And if you're watching this, please thumbs up, comment, tell me what you think. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do these live streams more frequently. I'm gonna try to be more frequent on this. I want to share my experiences here, because like I said, you see a lot of these videos of people talking about they're mainly like teachers. You see a lot of teachers sharing their experiences, sharing their point of view. But I think hearing from, oh my God, that's a nasty crack on my phone screen. Sorry, but hearing from some of these teachers, that's a different point of view. There's a different look on it, right? Now you can get a point of view from a military person, right, who's been here going on 9 years. No, 6 years. I'm gonna do 3 more. And they'll put me at 9 years. So I did three, yep. So far I'm going on 6 years living here, right? And I'm gonna do another 3, maybe 2, 3 more years. So that's all I got for you guys today, right? Thank you for watching. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you. You have a great day wherever you be in the world. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right. New Year, new us. All right. This is Director Nola, and I'm out.